Hello, fantabulous souls. Welcome to Psychically Speaking, where we discuss all things body, mind, spirit related. I'm your host, Psychic Lisa Ann. As a professional psychic medium and healer, I have been assisting people for over 27 years. I'm so excited to have you join me on this journey called life as we share, learn, and grow together. So let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about some quick and effective techniques to help with stress and anxiety. I don't know about you, but the world seems to be getting crazier and crazier every day. And it's really important that we start implementing things on a daily basis to not only help us to relax, to release stress and tension, but also to get our minds in a more clear and a more positive direction. So we're going to jump right in. First, I'm going to talk about a couple of really quick, easy things that you can do to reduce your stress. I don't know about you, but I have a million things to do on a daily basis. So I don't like to do things that are going to just add another project that I have to add into my day, or do things that, I have to spend hours doing them, or I have to find more time to add this in. I like things that are quick, effective, that I could add into the things that I'm already doing in my everyday life. So the things we're going to talk about today are going to be really simple for you. There's no other time that you're going to have to set aside. You're just going to find the time to add them in to what you're already doing in your life. All right. So let's talk about the first one. The easiest thing that you can do to reduce stress is to start working with essential oils. I love essential oils. I've been working with them forever. I have my own line of oils called Spirit Scents. I carry a chakra line. Those of you who've been in my shop, we give out samples of our famous house blend oil that's just for relaxation and calming. And I just find it is such a quick, effective, easy way to just shift your energy, shift your focus, and to really help with reducing stress. So, a couple of ways that you can use essential oils. One, when you get up in the morning and you take a shower, just put 1 or 2 drops of the oil on the base of the shower, on the floor of the shower. Turn the water up nice and warm and just allow it to steam your bathroom. And then when you get ready to take your shower, just readjust the water before you step in, make it comfortable temperature for you. And it is literally like having an aromatherapy session. And there's nothing else you have to do because you were taking that shower anyway. If you have time at night before you go to sleep, if you are a bath person, take a cup of salt. You can use Epsom salt, you can use sea salt. I like to use Himalayan salt. And you can take a few drops of your favorite essential oil, put the oil into the cup of salt, mix it with a fork, and throw it into the tub. A big mistake that I see people make with this is they'll take the oil and they'll put the oil right in the water. You really do need to put the oil into the salt to help your body to absorb it. Don't have time to take a bath? No problem. This is one of the things that I do because I'm just not a bath person. I like to take the essential oil and put it in a diffuser next to my bed. And I have a diffuser that runs all night long. So not only does it help to relax me, but I really feel like it helps me to stay asleep. Or if I wake up during the night, it helps me to go back to sleep a lot faster. So with the diffuser, it's helpful if you just run it a couple of minutes, like maybe 10 minutes before you're getting ready to go to bed, so that you have that scent in the room. Now, everybody has their favorite essential oil and everybody has their own opinion. If you're new to oils or just getting started with oils, lavender is a great oil. Most people recommend that for relaxation. One of my favorites is bergamot. Bergamot, I find, is very calming, soothing, relaxing. Of course, there's a million other oils you can use. Go out there, research them, try some different ones. but it is such a simple, easy, effective technique. And of course, throughout the day, you can take the oil, just put a drop behind your ears. I always tell people put a drop on your wrists, and it's great before you go to bed at night just to put a drop at the bottom of your feet. So, essential oils, great, quick, effective technique that you can use to reduce stress, to reduce anxiety. Next thing we're going to talk about is just how to change the environment and the energy around you. And one of the easiest ways to do that is with music. I don't know if you've ever thought about just kind of driving down the road and all of a sudden a song comes on and it will take you back to that moment in time. It can work the same way to kind of shift your energy. So maybe you're just having a crazy day or you're just really stressed, and just playing some calming, relaxing music in the background will totally shift your energy. I use this a lot in the healing work that I do. A lot of times I have people who their children have special needs or their children have been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder or whatever it is, and they have a hard time focusing or calming down when they get home from school. So, one of the things I always tell people is before the child gets home, have the diffuser going with the oil that we talked about before, and just have some nice calming music playing in the background. There is so much research that has been done with music and the types of music and the sound of music. And I always find it very fascinating because if you go to the store, and I want you guys to kind of pay attention to this next time you're out and about. If you go to the store, let's just say you go to the food store and it's a busy time, right? It's when everybody's going right after work. They'll be playing more upbeat, quick music, right? Because they want you to go in, get what you need, and get out. But if you go at an off time, you'll notice there's really calming, kind of soft music playing because when it's a slower time, they want you just kind of meandering through the store, maybe picking up extra purchases that you weren't in there for. And then again, busy time comes, and now the music is playing a lot faster. So I want you to pay attention to that next time you're shopping and see like what time it is. So the music really just has an amazing impact. And honestly, I tell people that have a really hard time sleeping or just kind of quieting their minds at the end of the day, the worst thing that you can do before you go to sleep is like watch the news, right? So instead of that, put a pair of headsets on, listen to some music, put some music on your TV or on your phone. And it's really helpful too if you're someone who's used to listening to like a very specific kind of music, mix it up a little bit. Give your brain something different to focus on. All right. So just soft music in the background, listening to music when you wake up in the morning, listening to music before you go to sleep, and watch how it shifts your energy and really helps you to release some of that stress and anxiety. The next thing I'm going to teach you is really about thinking about creating a quiet space. Now, when I do Reiki certification, when I do healing certification classes, we talk a lot about energy and the energy in your home and your work environment and creating more of like a sacred space. And one of the things people always tell me, I don't have, a separate room that I could dedicate to meditation, or I don't have a specific room that I can use. You do not need a room. You can create a quiet space or a sacred space no matter where you are. I have people who tell me, I travel all the time. It doesn't matter. So if you have that space and you can dedicate a room and make a meditation room, that is great. Go ahead and do that. But for most people, that's usually not the situation. So it's about just creating a space, whether it's on a desk. I had someone one time who said, I don't even have a room. They were staying in a friend's house and they were literally sleeping on their couch. And they said to me, I don't even have my own room. Like, I literally have no space. And I said to them, great, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go out and I want you to get one of those little like serving tray things. And I want you to put a couple of things on that serving tray. So maybe it's a candle. Maybe it's a picture of something or a place that really resonates with you. Maybe it's a favorite crystal or a little angel, whatever it is. But I want you to just put 3 to 5 items on that tray that just are very soothing, very relaxing. And when you come home at the end of the day, I want you to go pull that tray out from under the couch or keep it in a closet, wherever it is. And that is going to be your quiet space. So I want you to really kind of think beyond, I need a meditation room, or, I have to have this whole space to myself. I want you to think about the things that can symbolize that quietness, that peacefulness. It could be something as simple as, maybe there's some place that you saw in a movie, or maybe there's some place that you visited when you were a child. Go online, Google it, take a picture of it, put it in your wallet. So when you're finding yourself getting really stressed, you can go ahead and look at that picture and bring yourself back to that quiet space. Now, we talked about some quick, effective techniques that we can use to just kind of help with stress and anxiety. But our ultimate goal is to really get our minds thinking in a new, more positive direction. So, there's a couple of things that you can do with that. And, if you're someone who is an absolute worrier and you're listening to this and you're thinking, I cannot imagine my life without stress, I want you to start with a simple exercise. I want you to start by setting what I like to call a worry time. So, if this is for those of you who are a true worrier and you just, again, you cannot imagine your life without stress, I want you to set a time of day to deal with problems. So, when I first started this exercise, oh my God, over 20 years ago, I gave myself into 11 a.m. Okay. If I was unable to solve a problem that I was working on, or if another problem arose after that time, I wouldn't focus on it. I would deal with it the next day. All right. So, for example, I set an 11 a.m. deadline for my problems. And Monday, I decide to, I don't know, call my insurance company to solve some paperwork issues. And I go ahead and I get it all resolved. Then at 11:30, maybe I get a call from the bank or something saying a payment hasn't arrived. You just explain you're on your way out, you're going to have to check your paperwork, and you will get back to them first thing the next morning, right? Now, obviously, there are going to be issues that will need your immediate attention. So that's where we learn to prioritize things, right? But the thing that you learn by setting a worry time is everything is not a life emergency, right? It teaches you how to constructively use your time and energy. Now, obviously, if the school calls and they're like, "Hey, your kid's sick," you're not going to be like, "Ah, you know what? It's 11:30 and my worry time is over at 11, so I can't come pick them up." Like, obviously, there's going to be things that you have to readjust. But I'm telling you, if you get in the habit of doing a worry time, it will help you to start shifting so that you start giving yourself permission to go, okay, you know what? I can focus on other things, and this can wait a few more hours or to the next day. Now I'm going to share my secret for anxiety and stress reduction. So, years ago, I started using what I call my daily priority lists. Every morning or the night before, I write a list of all of the things I need to do. And in the beginning, I put everything on that list. Need to go get gas, need to go to the store, like the simplest little things. I wrote everything down on that list. And then what I would do is I would start by removing one or two things that really could have waited into another day, right? So maybe I had a meeting with a teacher, and then maybe I had to drop off mail, and then maybe I had going to wash the car. I don't know. And I look and I say, okay, what's one thing I can move to tomorrow? All right, well, maybe I can wash the car tomorrow, but I can't change the meeting with the teacher, right? Basically, what this exercise does it helps you to realize that a lot of the stress we suffer from is self-imposed. It also helps you to learn to refocus your priorities, which then enables you to better cope with the really difficult days, right? Because now, when those real emergencies come up, you can quickly look at everything that's going on because you've already mastered these skills of looking at things and going, okay, you know what? I got to hit the pause button. I have this emergency. Here's what's going to wait till tomorrow, and I'm good to go. The other thing that this really helped me is I was always guilty of feeling like I was running in circles and never getting anything done. And when I started doing the priority list, I could really look back and I would go to bed and go, oh my God, I didn't get anything done today. And I would look at the list and go, actually, yeah, I got 25 things done today, right? I didn't get 35 done that I wanted to, but I got 25. So it really made you see how much you do in a day. And it also helped me to realize where I was wasting my time. So for this situation, we're using it as a daily priority list, but it really has so many more benefits than just learning how to prioritize things. Now, this next one, I'm sure you've all heard about by now. But back in the day, this was like, the new thing, right? Keeping a positive things list. Some people call it a gratitude journal. Everybody's got a different name for it. But I have to tell you, when I started doing this many, many years ago, I decided that I was going to write down 5 positive things that happened each day. So I would do it before I went to bed. And it's really funny because years later, I was teaching a class on stress and, reducing stress and anxiety. And I was talking about the positive things list. And I had happened to find this positive journal that I had kept way back in the day. And as I started going through it and reading it, I was hysterical laughing because my positive things list started off like, well, the kids didn't start fighting today till 3 o'clock, or I only had a headache to, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Like my positive things were not really that positive, but it was funny because as I started reading through the journal, I could see how my mind and my focus started shifting, right? And I always remember the day I had went to the post office for something. And as I was walking in, I had like a big box in my hand. So this gentleman ran up ahead of me and he held the door. And as soon as he did that, all I could think of was, oh my God, I have something to put on my positive things list, right? And I was like, thank you so much. And I always remember the guy's reaction because he was like, lady, I'm just holding the door. Like, I didn't ask you to marry me, for crying out loud. But I was just so excited because I thought, oh, yes, I got a thing to write on my list. And I have to tell you, what it does is it really starts making you look for all the positive things, right? Because it's like an accountability thing. At the end of the day, you're going to have to write something in the list. So all day long, I call it like your spidey senses, right? You have your spidey senses out, just looking for those things that you can write down. And the very last thing we're going to talk about is meditation. I remember when I first started meditating, people would say to me, "Oh, you just, quiet your mind." I didn't even understand what the concept of quieting my mind was. Like my mind wasn't thinking about one thing, it was thinking about a million things all the time. And, there's so many there's breath work and all different kinds of meditation now. But honestly, with meditation, I have always found for myself and with the people that I've worked with over all these years, I have always found guided meditation to be the best, especially if you're someone who's has never meditated before, or if you're someone that has a really hard time quieting your mind. When you're listening to a guided meditation, it's just kind of keeping your analytical mind distracted because you're focusing on the words, so you don't tend to just drift off and go in all these different tangents of like, oh my God, I got to go pick up the laundry or whatever it is. um and one of the things that I want to tell you with meditation, it does take practice. So be patient with yourself. I never suggest to people that you go, all right, I'm going to start meditating. So I'm going to meditate an hour every day, 7 days a week. I'm telling you, if you've never meditated before, you're just going to aggravate yourself. So pick 2 days a week. Start simple, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Pick a short, sweet, guided meditation and just practice. The more you start practicing and the more you do it, you're going to find your mind quieting down faster and faster and faster. And you're going to find yourself wanting to do it more and more. Now, I do have some free guided meditations on my YouTube channel, which is Spirit Quest Productions. You can also access my YouTube channel through my website, which is spiritquestnc.com. So I highly recommend doing a guided meditation. So these are just a couple of things that you can use to reduce stress and anxiety, from essential oils to calming music to creating a quiet space. And as you begin to train your mind to focus on the more positive, just setting that worry time, limiting yourself to being in that space, creating that priority list, and finally creating that positive things list. And my favorite, meditate, meditate, meditate. So I hope you found some of these little quick and effective techniques to reduce stress and anxiety helpful. And I want you to go and I want you to practice one or two or maybe even all of them.